Ever noticed how your parking spot sits empty during every big game or concert? Downtown, that empty space is gold. People circle for 20 minutes, desperate. They'd pay anything for a guaranteed spot close to the action. What if that anything went straight into your pocket? It's frustrating to watch, right? Cars circling, drivers stressed, while your perfectly good spot collects dust. Commercial lots jack up their prices to 50, 60 bucks. They make a killing, but here's the secret they don't want you to know. You don't need a lot. You just need one spot. So you look at your empty driveway and think, why not me? Turns out there are apps for that. You snap a photo, describe the location, and set a price. For a big event night, $400 isn't crazy. It's a bargain for them and pure profit for you. The first time a stranger pulls in, hands you cash, and walks off to the concert smiling, it's a rush. They're happy because they're not late. You're happy because you just made 400 bucks for doing absolutely nothing. That's the moment you realize you're onto something. Now imagine that happening 10, 12 times a year. Suddenly that empty concrete is earning you nearly $5,000 annually. That's a vacation. That's credit card debt gone. That's a serious chunk of change from an asset you never even thought about. Let's put some numbers on the board. 400 bucks per event night. If your city has 12 big game or concert nights a year, that's $4,800. The cost of your asset? Zero. You already own it. This isn't about earning, it's about noticing what you already have. Pricing is everything too low, and you leave money on the table too high and your spot sits empty. The sweet spot, check what the big lots charge for that event, then undercut them by a few bucks. You're closer, it's safer, and you're cheaper. You'll book every time. You don't need a website or a sign on your lawn. There are apps built exactly for this spot hero, ParkWiz. Neighbor, you list it once, and they handle the payments, the messaging, even the insurance. You literally just sit back and watch the bookings roll in. One quick word about taxes. This is income, so don't ignore it. But here's the good news. You can deduct the business use of your home, a portion of your utilities, even your phone bill. Set aside about 20%, and you'll sleep easy come tax season. You know, looking out over the city like this, it's easy to see the stadiums and arenas, but the real opportunity isn't inside them. It's right here in the driveways and parking pads all around. Every empty spot is a missed connection between a stressed driver and a smart owner. It's not just football games. Think concerts, festivals, monster truck rallies. Your city probably has dozens of events a year. Every single one brings thousands of cars looking for a place to land. That's not just an event calendar. That's your personal income schedule. The listing process is simple. Take clear photos during the day. Mention you're close to the venue and well lit. Set your price. That's it. 5 minutes of work for 400 bucks. The hardest part is remembering you actually own the space. After that, it's automatic. Imagine the ping on your phone, booking confirmed. You haven't even left your couch. Someone just paid you $400 to use your empty space. It's the most satisfying notification you'll ever get. You realize then that your property isn't just a place to live. It's an income stream. Event night arrives, you watch the renter pull in, relieved, grateful, they wave, you wave, they head off to have a great time, and you've already been paid. It's a win-win that takes almost no effort. And the best part, you can do it again next week. After a season of this, you start looking at your property differently. That garage space could be storage. Those tools, someone would pay to borrow them. The parking spot was just the beginning. You've unlocked a whole new mindset. Your stuff should pay for itself. Map out your city, sports stadium, concert arena, festival grounds. Each one creates demand. A football game might get you 300. A massive concert could push 450. A weekend festival with multiple days, you could clear 1,000 from the same spot. Know your calendar? Here's where it gets fun. Surge pricing. For a championship game or a farewell tour, demand explodes. You can charge way more if lots are asking 100. You can ask 80 if they're full, you can ask 100. Your price should match the desperation of the moment. The apps let you automate everything. Set your prices, turn on AutoBook, and the system handles the rest. The renter pays, you get deposited, and a digital lockbox code gives them access. You don't even need to be home. Passive income means exactly that. You're passive, the money's active. Worried about strangers on your property? The platforms have your back. They verify renters, provide insurance, and offer 24/7 support. You're not renting to a random person, you're renting to a verified user on a platform that guarantees your safety and your payment. There's a real peace that comes with this. Knowing your stuff works for you even when you're not. Whether you're at the beach or just relaxing, that parking spot is out there generating income. It's a small shift, but it changes everything about how you see your home. Look at these two pictures. On the left, an empty spot making nothing on the right. The same spot with a car, cash in hand. The only difference, you deciding to act, the asset was always there. The opportunity was always there. You just had to flip the switch. And it's not just you who wins. The renter wins too. They get a guaranteed spot, avoid the stress, and actually make it to the event on time. They're happier, they spend more money at the local bars and restaurants, and the whole neighborhood benefits. Your spot fuels the local economy. Word spreads fast. Your neighbors see you counting cash from your porch. They ask how it works. Suddenly, their driveways are listed too. The whole block becomes a microeconomy. Everyone's making money, everyone's helping each other. It's not just income anymore, it's community wealth. You become the neighborhood expert. People come to you with questions. How much should I charge? Which app is best? What about insurance? You're not just making money anymore, you're leading a movement, and every new person who joins makes the whole neighborhood stronger. Fast forward a year, the whole street is lit up on event nights. Cars are parked in every driveway. Neighbors are waving, grilling, celebrating. That one decision you made to list your spot turned a quiet street into a thriving community, all because you saw potential in empty concrete. Let's do the math one more time. $400 for about 5 hours of work. That's $80 an hour. Compare that to a side hustle delivering food or driving for a rideshare. You're not wearing out your car, you're not dealing with customers, you're just renting space. Uber pays maybe $20 an hour after expenses. DoorDash pays less, tutoring pays $40 if you're lucky, parking $80 an hour, zero expenses, zero effort. It's not even close. This isn't just a side hustle, it's the most efficient side hustle there is. What about when you're on vacation? Your spot doesn't need to rest. List it while you're away. Someone parks there while you're sipping cocktails on a beach. You come home to find $400 extra in your account. Your vacation just paid for itself and you weren't even there. This is the dream, right? Your assets working for you while you sleep, while you travel, while you live your life. 20 events a year could bring in 8 grand, 30 events, 12 grand. It's predictable, it's reliable, and it's almost entirely passive. This is financial freedom in its simplest form. Standing here looking out at all that beauty, it's easy to feel grateful. Grateful for the simple ideas that change everything. You don't need a complex plan or a ton of money. You just need one thing you already own and the courage to rent it out. That's the whole secret. Once you start seeing assets everywhere, you can't stop. That garage isn't for junk, it's for storage rental. Those tools aren't collecting dust, they're for borrowing. Your whole property becomes a money-making machine. The parking spot was just the first domino. Look at this. Your neighbor needs a power drill for a project. He could buy one for $100, or he could rent yours for 10. He saves money, you make money, and the drill sits in your garage either way. It's the same principle as the parking spot, just smaller scale. Basement space, attic space, even a closet. People pay good money for storage, clear out what you don't need, list the empty square footage, and watch the cash appear. It's like finding money in your own house. You were sitting on a rental unit this whole time and didn't even know it. You can even add services, offer to wash their car while they're at the game, install a charger and rent it to EV owners, detail the interior for an extra fee. The base parking spot is great, but with a few simple add-ons, you can turn a good thing into a great one. This is the vision, your entire property, every corner, every square foot, working for you. Parking, storage, tools, services, it's not just a house anymore. It's an income ecosystem. And it all started because you looked at an empty concrete slab and saw potential instead of nothing. Add it all up, parking $4,800, storage $2,400, tools $1,800, services $1,200. That's over $10,000 a year from stuff you already own. That's a new car payment. That's a fully funded IRA. That's a serious financial upgrade for zero extra work. Now imagine investing that 10 grand every year. At 7%, in 10 years, you've got over $147,000. That's not just rental income. That's generational wealth. That's college funds, retirement cushions, financial security for your family. All from one parking spot. Tax-smart strategies make it even better. You can deduct the business percentage of your home, your utilities, your internet. Depreciation lets you write off the value of your property over time. Track your mileage for tool rentals. Every dollar you save in taxes is another dollar in your pocket. This whole journey changes your mindset. You stop being a consumer and become a producer. You look at everything differently. How can this make me money? Instead of how much did this cost? It's a shift that affects every financial decision you'll ever make. It's the real gift. Standing here looking out over something this ancient and vast, you realize how small our daily worries are. A parking spot, a few $100. It's not about the money, it's about the freedom. The freedom to stand in a place like this and know your life is working for you. And the best part? You get to teach it. Your grandkid sits next to you, eyes wide, as you explain how a parking spot paid for their lemonade stand. You're not just giving them money, you're giving them a mindset. You're showing them that wealth isn't earned, it's noticed. Watch them start their own thing. A lemonade stand, a pet sitting service, a little tech help booth for the neighbors. They got it, they saw what you did, and now they're doing their own version. The cycle continues, the lesson sticks. You've created a legacy of initiative. Family meetings change. Instead of talking about bills and budgets, you're talking about goals and opportunities. Everyone contributes, everyone benefits. The parking spot funds the vacation, the tool rental pays for the new grill. It's not just your money anymore, it's our money. And then you take that vacation. All of you. The whole family, laughing on a beach somewhere, knowing that the trip was funded by a parking spot back home. That's the dream, right? Not just making money, but making memories with the people you love, funded by assets you already had. Years later, you hand down the book. Not a book about stocks or bonds, but a simple leather journal filled with the lessons you learned. How to see assets, how to start small, how to build a legacy. You hand it to your grandchild, and you know the lesson will outlive you. Let's look at that legacy on paper. Today, 10 grand a year in 10 years, 150,000. Your kid starts their own small hustle, adds 5 grand a year. Your grandkid with decades of compound growth builds $1 million portfolio, all from one parking spot, all from one decision. It all started with $400, one night, one event. That tiny snowball rolled down the hill and became an avalanche. The key wasn't the money itself. It was the decision to start, to stop thinking about it, and just do it. That's the only thing separating you from them. The doubts are normal. It's too much work. No one will pay. I'll do it later. Recognize those voices for what they are. Fear. Fear is a liar. The proof is right here. Thousands of people are doing this right now, making money while they sleep. The only thing stopping you is you. So here's the call to action. Open the app, snap 3 photos, set your price at $400 for the next big event. Hit publish, 5 minutes, that's all it takes. 5 minutes to start a journey that could change your family's financial future forever. Don't wait. Do it tonight. Look at this view, breathtaking, right? That's what financial freedom looks like. It's not about the money itself. It's about the view it gives you, the peace, the perspective, the knowledge that you're in control. And it all starts with one small step, one parking spot, one decision, you. But what if you're 5 years too late? You're not. Look at this person. They could have started years ago, but they didn't. Now they're looking at an empty calendar, full of regret. Don't be them. The best time to start was 5 years ago. The second best time is right now. See what happens when one person starts. The neighbor notices, they get curious, they download the app. Suddenly, 2 houses are earning, then 4, then the whole block. It's not just a rental anymore. It's a movement. And it started with one person willing to be first. Now, every house on the street has their thing: parking, tools, storage, EV charging. It's a little ecosystem of income. Nobody's competing, everybody's collaborating. Your drill helps me, my spot helps you. That's the magic. When everyone wins, the whole neighborhood gets richer. And the kids, they're already running their own shows. Lemonade stands, pet sitting, even tech help for the older neighbors. They watch the adults turn stuff into money, and now they're doing the same thing. This isn't just a side hustle anymore. It's a culture. It's how things work now. Look at this. The whole community together. Block parties funded by parking spots. Kids' college funds paid for by tool rentals. Neighbors who barely spoke now working together. That one parking spot didn't just make money. It made a family out of a street. That's the real legacy. Let's trace it back. One spot, $400, then $4,800 a year, then $10,000 from the whole property, then $150,000 from the community, then a national movement. All from a single decision. Never underestimate the power of one small action. And when the community works together, magic happens. 12 homes, 8 different income streams, over $150,000 combined annually. That's money staying local. That's families thriving. That's what happens when you stop competing and start collaborating. Shared knowledge multiplies wealth. The next generation is already ahead. Those kids with the lemonade stands, they're saving for college. The teen with the tech help, he's funding his own car. They learned early that money doesn't come from waiting. It comes from seeing what you have and putting it to work. But here's the truth. It was never about the money. It was about freedom, security, a mindset. The money was just the proof. The real gift was realizing you're in control. Your stuff doesn't own you. You own it. And that shift in thinking, that's worth more than any dollar amount. Standing here watching the sunrise over these mountains, you understand peace isn't about having more. It's about needing less. And when your assets work for you, you need less stress, less worry, less fear. You just need the courage to start. Everything else follows. Look at this map. Every pin is a city where someone started what you're about to start. That first spot in the original neighborhood sent ripples across the country. People saw it, copied it, improved it. Now it's everywhere. Your city could be next. Your pin could be the next one added. And then the media showed up, reporters, cameras, headlines, parking spot millionaires. It sounded crazy until they saw the numbers. Regular people, regular driveways, extraordinary results. The story spread because it was true, and because it was true, anyone could do it, including you. Next came the book, The Parking Spot Millionaire. Not because it was complicated, but because it was so simple. People wanted to read the story, hold it in their hands, believe it was real. And now that book sits on shelves, waiting for people like you to pick it up and start. Then the speaking tour. Auditoriums full of people who wanted to learn. Some were skeptics. Most were dreamers. All of them left knowing one thing. They could do this too. The message was simple. Look at what you own. List it. Let it work for you. That's the whole speech. And then the award, not for being rich, for showing people how to be free. That's what this movement is really about. Financial freedom, yes, but also freedom from fear, freedom from doubt, freedom to live life on your own terms. That's the only award that matters. Let's talk about what $400 actually buys. 2 nights covers your monthly electric bill, 5 nights pays for a beach vacation, 10 nights funds a Roth IRA, 20 nights starts a college fund. Your parking spot isn't just concrete. It's a tool for building the life you want. And here's what it buys that you can't see. Peace of mind, knowing that if something goes wrong, you have a cushion. Confidence, knowing you're not just surviving, you're building. Freedom, knowing your stuff works for you, not the other way around. That's the real purchase. But it's not just you who benefits. Every renter who parks in your spot spends money nearby. Dinner, drinks, souvenirs, local businesses thrive. Bartenders get bigger tips. Restaurants stay open later. Your parking spot doesn't just help you, it helps your whole neighborhood. So here's the only rule, start. Not next week, not next month. Tonight, take 5 minutes, open the app, list your spot, done. You can spend years planning and never move. Or you can spend 5 minutes acting and change everything. Done beats perfect every single time. Standing here watching the waves roll in, you realize how simple it all is. The ocean doesn't overthink. It just moves. Your journey should be the same. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just take the first step. The rest will follow, wave after wave. This is the Rick Foundation, not a building, but an idea that anyone, anywhere can turn what they own into what they need. Every person in this room is proof. They started with nothing but a parking spot and a little bit of hope. Now they're teaching others to do the same. Graduation day, look at their faces. That's not just pride, that's transformation. A few months ago, they were doubtful. Now they're ready to list their first spot, ready to start their own journey, ready to join the movement. And it all started because someone believed they could. And now they're out there doing it. Urban apartments, suburban driveways, rural barns, everywhere you look, graduates are putting their assets to work. Parking spots, tool rentals, storage spaces, they took the lesson and made it their own. That's the point. Not to copy, but to create. And now they're teaching too. The students become the teachers. Look at this. A graduate standing where Gramps Rick once stood, passing on the lesson to a new group. The cycle continues. The movement grows. Every teacher creates more teachers. That's how you build something that lasts. This map tells the whole story. Every pin, a city where someone started. Every line, a connection between dreamers. What began as one parking spot in one neighborhood is now a global family. And the best part? There's still room for one more pin. There's still room for you. Let's look at the numbers now. 500 cities, 12,000 graduates, over $50 million in combined annual income. This isn't a side hustle anymore, it's a movement, and it's growing every single day. The only question is whether you'll be part of it. Here's something you might not have considered. Every car that parks in your spot isn't circling the block. Less idling, less pollution. A single spot saves thousands of pounds of CO2 every year. You're not just making money, you're helping the planet. Good for your pocket and good for the world. And the social impact? 80% of hosts know their renters by name. Neighborhoods host 3 times more block parties. 95% report stronger community ties. Strangers become friends. Friends become family. All because one person decided to share what they had. So here we are at the end of the story, but at the beginning of yours. Look at your driveway, download the app, start with $400. That's it. That's the whole plan. We did it. Thousands of us. Now it's your turn. The only thing missing is you. Standing at this trailhead, you can't see the whole path. Just the first few steps. That's okay. You don't need to see the whole journey. You just need to start walking. The trail will reveal itself, one step at a time, one parking spot at a time, one decision at a time. Fast forward 20 years. This is what the future looks like. Every home, a mini income generator, solar panels feeding the grid, tool libraries in every garage, EV chargers on every block. What started as a parking spot became the way we live. Efficient, connected, free. And in that future, families thrive, 3 generations living in the same community, all benefiting from the same idea. Grandparents who started it all, parents who expanded it, kids who grew up knowing their stuff could work for them. That's not just a family, that's a legacy. Now that kid is grown, and they're teaching standing in front of a new group, passing on the lesson they learned at Gramps Rick's knee. The cycle continues. The movement grows. Every teacher creates more teachers. Every graduate becomes a mentor. That's how you build forever. And it's not just here. It's everywhere. Look at this map. Europe, Asia, Africa, South America, the same idea. Adapted to different cultures, different needs. A parking spot in Paris, a tool rental in Tokyo, a storage space in Nairobi. The principle is universal. Assets are everywhere. This is the world we built. Peaceful, prosperous, connected, not because of some grand plan, but because millions of people made one small decision. They looked at what they had and put it to work. They shared the idea, they passed it on, and now it's everywhere. This is the legacy. One chart to rule them all, one spot, $400, then yearly income, then multiple assets, then community wealth, then a global movement, every stage connected, every stage building on the last. It all started with one decision. Yours is next. The chart is waiting for your dot. So what does this mean for you? It means you're not too late, you're not too small, you're not underqualified. You have everything you need, a driveway, a phone, 5 minutes. That's it. The only question is whether you'll use them. The answer is entirely up to you. I started with one parking spot and a little bit of hope. Look what we built together. Now it's your turn. Don't wait, don't doubt, just start. That's not just a quote, that's an invitation to join the millions who've already started, an invitation to build your own legacy. Here are your final 3 steps. Step 1, snap 3 photos of your spot. Step 2, set your price at $400. Step 3, tap, publish. That's it. 5 minutes, then you wait for the ping, for the deposit, for the moment you realize you just changed your life. Go, now. Standing here at this beautiful lake, I feel nothing but gratitude. Gratitude for the simple idea. Gratitude for everyone who took the leap, and gratitude for you. For listening, the path is clear. The tools are ready. All that's left is for you to take the first step. And somewhere right now, someone else is having their moment. A young person scrolling, stumbling on this idea for the first time. Their eyes widen, their brain sparks. They look out the window at their own empty spot and they realize, I can do this. That was you once. Now it's them. And they don't wait. They grab their phone, run outside, and start snapping photos. They're not overthinking, they're not planning, they're doing. That's the magic action, not intention. They're about to discover what you already know, that the first step is the only hard one. Then it happens. The ping, listing live. They dance in the driveway, phone in the air. They just did it. They just joined the movement in 5 minutes. They changed everything. Now they wait for the booking, for the cash, for the moment their life starts to look a little different. And then the booking comes, a stranger, pulling into their spot, handing over cash, smiling, grateful. It worked. It actually worked. That feeling, that's what we've been talking about. That's financial freedom happening in real time. That could be you. Tonight, tomorrow, whenever you decide. Now they're sitting where you are looking at a photo of Gramps Rick, feeling grateful. They have a notebook that says, pay it forward. And they'll teach someone else just like you will, because that's how this works. You receive, then you give. The cycle never ends. So here's the legacy. 100,000 lives changed, $500 million generated, 50 countries and counting, a forest grown from a single seed. And it all happened because people like you decided to act. Not tomorrow, not next week, today, right now. That's the power of one. The core principles are simple. Look at what you already own. Start small, start now. Share with your community, pass it on. That's it. 4 ideas that change the world. They can change your world too. You don't need a complex plan, you just need to remember these 4 things. Never underestimate the power of one. One person, one decision, one parking spot. That's all it took to start a movement. You're that one now. The one who decides. The one who acts. The one who starts the ripple. Don't wait for someone else. Be the one. Thank you for watching, for believing, for being part of this. We built something beautiful together, and now it's your turn to build your own. Remember, you already have everything you need. Your future is waiting. Walk through that door, we'll be here cheering you on. Always. One last look, one last breath. This journey is yours now. The shell in my hand. It's a reminder that even the smallest things hold beauty and potential, just like your parking spot, just like you. Thank you for walking with me. Now go walk your own path. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you again.